Here we are. We just woke up in the Missouri Route 66 Welcome Center, Conway, Oklahoma parking lot, and we're on our way to the heart of Route 66 Auto Museum. We're relocating from Wisconsin to California. Now, normally when we travel, we go point to point, and we might stay a week or a month, but everything's changed with COVID. So we're trying to be responsible, and we're literally just relocating so we can be in a warm climate. But that doesn't mean we can't take advantage of doing it more economically and, quite honestly, more fun, where we can stay at a place for free, and yet it's still kind of a destination where we can have some fun. Why don't you come along with us? We'll drive through some construction together. We'll go through a couple of toll booths. And of course, we'll show you how much fun it is when you have to stop for diesel fuel. So come on with us and let's end up at the heart of Route 66 Auto Museum. One of the more common questions I always get asked is, hey Mark, what kind of mileage you get with your 44-foot, 450 horsepower Dutch Star? Well, the rig is 44,500 pounds, and I get about 6.5 miles a gallon. Now, we could hunt out ma and pa shops, but what you just saw here is the typical truck stop that we stop at, where it's just easy in, easy out. Now you'll see that I get 72 gallons here. I have a 150 gallon tank. We typically only run it down about half a tank for probably a lot of reasons, not the least of which is I usually plan a bathroom break around fueling up. Now what you see here is I paid actually $117.23, and you saw $147 on the pump. Well, you can request a free copy of our Excel spreadsheet by sending it to our Journey In Myles at gmail.com, and in the subject line put spreadsheet, and we'll show you all of the charges on the pump that we were charged, and by using our TSD Logistics Program card, what we actually saved. I can tell you, I'll cut to the chase, we save about 43 or 44 cents on average per gallon. That's amazing. Check out episode 96 for a much more detailed description of how that logistics program works. You'll be glad you did. Now here's another way we use rest stops or truck stops if they're not affiliated with our program, which actually is only just a few. But we might stop, pull into a stop. I might use the restroom. And if I don't need fuel, we'll just pull out. They're very safe to stop at these. They're very big. So I'm getting better at going through these things. The first time was kind of a freak out. Now I just go slow, get all lined up real nice, keep an eye where the mirrors are, and take a deep breath.
Pulling the vehicle behind you, correct?
Yes.
2050.
Yeah. You got $1?
I have $1.
We're looking for that single. There's a 20. And there's a 50 or a single. And you can have the rest, okay? Have a nice day, buddy.
Here, let me get your receipt.
This is when it's nice to have your navigator helping you and say, hey Mark, get over, you got to get over a couple lanes, and that way I can look at traffic as well as get over. Sure is nice when your transponder works at some of the places, but the majority of them you're going to have to stop and pay manually. You can see here on the right hand side is the heart of Route 66 Auto Museum. You see the giant gas pump there. We're going to pull into this railroad road, and I actually looked at this on Google to make sure I wouldn't get caught on this railroad track. The rig is so long that if you bridge across too big of a bump, you'll get caught on the bump kind of like a turtle with its legs spinning, caught on its belly. We're going to actually drive to the back of this place, and there's a big giant gravel parking lot back here, and that's where we're going to park. So after we studied up on the parking lot a little bit and where the ruts are, we decided to disconnect the Honda and back into position and get ready for our adventure inside the auto museum. So here we are, our third Harvest Host in 3 days. It's the Route 66, the heart of Route 66 Auto Museum. We're going to be going in this building here in a few minutes, but I want to show you one of the perks that we're seeing at this particular campground, if you want to call that.
It's not a campground.
Well, it's a gravel parking lot.
Okay.
But let me show you this, Sue. A lot of times, if we ever wanted to have a campfire, we'd be a little short in kindling and lumber. We've got kindling, so even though I'm
you got kindling and logs.
Yeah, and plus...
And even a couch to lounge in.
We got a couple of logs there that are pre-positioned, so we're going to have one heck of a fire tonight. Come on, Sue. Let's get inside. We've got a lot to see, and plus, we're going to buy some T-shirts.
Ooh. So I don't want you to get the wrong idea from Mark, because we are with all this debris and the couch back there. But actually, we are behind the building, and it really is a pretty nice spot to be if you're in a big rig. It's a big gravel parking lot. There's a few divots in one area we had to kind of make sure we avoided, but it's really big. It handles us well. It's solid. It's not grass, and big enough to turn around.
So Sue just got done with her little video blog back there, but I'm showing people the star of the show here, and it's Myles. And I want you to see that Myles had to go up extra tall here. We actually had to put a board under this wheel. We got two boards under the other one. The back didn't raise at all. Only one of the jacks went down. The other one didn't get pressurized enough to send the other one down. So that's fine. We're set for a quick exit tomorrow when we go on and out of the place. All right. Don't pan that way, honey, because that's the elephant in the room. We're going to talk about something over here. You'll notice that since this is a car museum, they are just crazy for Cocoa Puffs about cars here. And they actually have Tesla charging stations if you're awesome enough to come over in your Tesla. Now, apparently, RVers sometimes don't quite get the message. And when they see something like that, they go, hey, I can park my RV there for free. So they had to put in this little bridge here that will conveniently take the top of your RV off.
Yeah, only a Tesla gets in.
All right, so what you got here is you got the heart of the Route 66 Auto Museum. It's a reenactment of like the old Texaco type gas pumps, where up in the top, if that was all full of glass there, as unbelievable as it sounds, I kind of remember gas like splashing around in there so you can see it. So you can imagine how safe that was. A good gimmick here would be, if this was an RV park, that could be all full, and it could either be water up there or all filled with Coca-Cola.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then you could dispense it with this big giant hose here.
So how big is it? Go walk up to the fence so I get a better perspective how big it is.
Yeah. Remember, I'm 6'6".
All right. So they actually have called this the world's largest gas pump. So what do you think, Mark?
Well, at the Auto Museum here, these two fronts, actually, the rest of the car is on the other side of the wall.
Yeah, right.
So let's go inside.
Honey, it's a visual. We can see how it's standing free.
Oh, it is?
Nice try.
All right. Forget what I just said. All right, I want to go on record as saying I hate COVID and everything it means, but I have to say, I think Sue looks hot in her mask.
Oh my God.
Come on, honey.
You're naughty. Let's go.
Let's go inside. spot. We already checked in, signed up for harvest hose. Here we are. All right, honey, take note in case I need that.
Oh my gosh, please. Don't even joke about it.
Look at this. I took a picture next to this thing
Oh,
that's on my
yeah.
Facebook account.
We were there.
Get your kicks.
Oh, here's the route.
We literally were parked here for a couple of months. We did not take this direct route. We did a couple harvest holes and then boop, and then
And that's our route. Where are
we're
we?
somewhere in here.
Yeah. And we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, actually, we're staying overnight tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow night, right here.
Yep.
Yeah, like 10 feet from the border. Boop.
Wow.
Didn't you have one of these little cars?
Yeah, I wish I did.
No, I mean, okay.
Oh yeah, I had the MG midget.
Yeah, well, okay, see if you recognize it.
Well, right in this white one, it's not that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, MG midget.
Wow.
Wow, these are fun. Oh yeah. Car hop.
Okay, so anybody that's watching this right now that's ever had a boat, you tell me if this was a good idea. I mean, can you imagine how soggy this thing would get on even the most timid water you're on? I don't know how they talked themselves into spending the money for the engineering in that one, but it always is fun to see things like that in a museum.
This one caught my eye. It's like a toy. It's like a recumbent bike, but you're all enclosed.
Turns out this really was kind of a special vehicle. After the war, the German aircraft company Messerschmitt could no longer make planes, and they had to do something with their people and equipment, and this is one of the products that they came up with. This Willys Jeep here, you can see that the maximum safe fuel accept is 17 gallons. And here they're very concerned that you don't overfill it. And I'm glad that they put those labels on there. Of course, the seat is right on the gas tank. So if a bullet goes through
Oh
here,
my God.
it's not really good.
Dang. Got quite a variety of things. Here they're actually showing us how in 1950, Tulsa was the first city to have the yield sign. Interesting.
This museum has about 40 vehicles in it of all different kinds. That's motorcycles, cars, sports cars, you name it. The thing that Sue and I really like about museums like this is that, for the most part, a lot of the cars in there are ones that we grew up in. We might have owned some of them. We might have ridden around in them. So it's just a really great trip to go down memory lane. Since this is a smaller museum and we really are traveling a little bit outside the season right now, we were able to grab on to the docent that was walking around here, and he literally told us the story of each and every car that's here. So we got to learn about the owners, whether or not they're still living or not, whether or not the car is donated or if it's just on loan, and any of the other peculiarities that happened on the story on how it ended up in this beautiful museum. So here's a 57 Ford retractable. And when we were at the last Auburn Ford Museum, wanted to show you, there are certain safety items that, I mean, can you imagine having a family of kids climbing around in here and you're, Johnny, let me let me put the top down. No, don't get out of there, and somebody pressed the wrong button.
Not a family car.
No. It's like, oh boy. So I always ask, what's the most expensive car in the museum? And apparently this is it. And it's a 1965 Chevy Impala that has a 2011 Corvette engine jammed into it. And apparently it's kind of two cars put together, and it's been chopped and lowered, and the wheelbase has been altered, and it's owned by a gentleman and his wife in Canada. He's a construction magnate, and it was built by a custom car builder, kind of a famous guy. So you can see that the car is owned by Don and Elma Voth. He and she are the Canadian construction magnates, and the car was actually custom built for them by Chip Fosse, Foose'. Really cool looking car. Okay, so if you're looking at this and you actually recognize this, you're old. Because I can remember, not many times, but probably at least a half a dozen or more, where I would go where a car hop was, and they would bring this tray, and you would order your food, and you had a placard like this with the prices on. You'd press the button, and you would order your food. And here you can get a chopped steak for $1.15. Oh, I'd have spaghetti and meatballs for $1.25. Nah, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm going with the fresh strawberry pie with whipped cream for 45 cents. Yes. Wow.
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah. So this is the Ford C4 transmission, 3-speed, produced between 64 and 81. Anytime you're thinking about saving some money and not changing your transmission fluid proactively versus trying to save a few bucks, look at all of the clearances and how many bearings and pads and plates and little gizmotron. There is no room for error in there. You know, if you sneeze in this transmission,
You're clogging it.
yeah, you're clogging it. So next time you're thinking about saving money on your transmission fluid changes, do it somewhere else. Have one less Starbucks.
And on that note.